All right, everyone, and welcome back to the second draw here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard. I'm your host, Martin Ohms, and I'm joined by Ryan Corsill here for this great matchup here. We're going to be seeing Shawn Adams coming from the Mayflower Curling Club going against Brent MacDougall, also coming from the Mayflower Curling Club. So kind of a inter-rivalry battle here and at the Halifax Curling Club here, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys will have played each other lots here at the club over the years, and it should be a good game here tonight. As you mentioned, the second game for the men today. They're all on in draw number 1 this morning, bright and early at 9 o'clock. So we have 4 teams trying to bounce back after an opening loss, and 4 teams trying to stay strong after an opening win. On our feature sheet, Shawn Adams won his game in an extra end.
Yeah, it was a steal of 1. They won 6-5 over McLeod. Incredible. McLeod tried to do the angle raise, just missed it by a couple inches and couldn't pull it off. And as you mentioned, MacDougall dropped his match 7-6 against Chad Stevens. So very close matchups here with 8 very strong teams here in Nova Scotia. It's a shame we can only pick one.
That's right. In that extra end, last rock thrower for Glenn McLeod, Peter Burgess, his rock just over curled a couple inches, and if it doesn't do that, it sits perfectly as a frozen stone, and wasn't too much Shawn could have done with that, but unfortunately had the slight over curl, and then Shawn guarded it, and Peter missed the run back. So opening loss for the defending champions, Glenn McLeod's team, but they'll be looking to bounce back. They're playing next door on sheet 4 against Chad Stevens.
Yeah, you can also tune in on that matchup here on Bellline TV1 as we're seeing the draw come in from Rob Moore. A little bit heavy and goes right out through the other side. So we're seeing that as we're starting out here, Team Adams is going to be shooting the blue stones against MacDougall's, who have the yellow, and MacDougall squad does have the hammer here. And an interesting player we're seeing here shooting for Team Adams right now, that's Ian Fitzner-LeBlanc, another skip here in Nova Scotia, helping out Craig Saville, who's undergoing cancer treatments right now. So if Craig is tuning in at home watching his team, we wish you all the best here from the club, and hopefully everything's all right with you. So, and Ian's been doing a great job filling in. We saw him during the first draw. There's some of the jokes going around here saying if he can handle the sweeping, because he's not really used to that. But
yeah, coming in from the skip position. No, Ian's definitely a great skip here in Nova Scotia. They failed to qualify this year, so the team picked him up after the sad news from Craig, and of course we all wish Craig the best.
And we're seeing now the second for Team MacDougall. That's Kris Granchelli. This team is a two-time Nova Scotia mixed champion, and their top finish at the Nationals was second place in 2013. So Granchelli and MacDougall, no stranger to being in the big tournaments.
That's right, the two of them playing with the two members from Marianne Arsenault's team, Jane Snyder and Christina Black, and they had a good run at Nationals a couple years ago. And so lots of experience here. I'm coming from both sides.
And again, right there, Moore's just trying to tell the rock to slow down a little bit. There's a little bit up, and we've been seeing with this first end, most of the teams go to the hitting game, but now we're in the second draw here. Most teams already know the ice from playing here this morning. They're going right at it.
Yeah, that's right, Martin. If you look across the sheet of ice, all four sheets are pretty much going full-out offense from the first end, so that's great to see. It's a nice rock from Kris there, the yellow. Shawn's got Brent in a bit of trouble here, but that'll make things better. That yellow's not going anywhere anytime soon. So
here comes Ian in a second. We have a great crowd here today. I'm surrounded by people. Everyone's standing, looking over our shoulders, out there on the ice.
Starting to show out on the ice. And see got some VIP seating out there and on the ice level surface. It's great to see.
Yeah, whenever we have the second, we'll take a look at that. We have great provincial rocks here, great ice here for this Tankard Championship, as this one goes greatly around the guard and will freeze right on top of. Great throw there from Ian.
That was a great shot there in the camera work.
So right now, though, MacDougall does have the hammer. That middle is completely clogged up. Are you gonna? It looks like they're gonna keep adding to it, but when is that time when you pretty much have to break it apart? But they do have that one shot stone. Keep in mind.
Yeah, Brent is sitting shot stone. That's probably why he's okay with postponing the bail shot for now. Just a matter of changing a few of those angles up, and it could become a better situation for him.
So right away, Rob Moore's saying it has a little bit more. But we've seen some great curl here on this sheet here early.
Yeah, this one's floating a little wide now. It's trying to come in hard.
It's going to give it a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, it really did come to the face, though. Kris threw it there by himself, but, that's really not a bad result for...
and at the end of the day, the sweepers are the happiest, too.
Yeah, they don't mind a few rocks off, yeah. Yeah,
it
becomes a long week. I mean, we're like we said earlier, we are playing 10 ends here at the provincial championships. It's a 7-game round robin, starting this morning all the way to Friday night. So, in theory, you have some games end early, but in theory, there's a potential for 70 ends there. They've already got 11 in the books from this morning for Shawn Adams' team. So,
and when it comes down to the playoffs, top 3 teams advance, and it'll be a single elimination. So, first team gets a bye to the finals, and the second and third teams will play against each other. So, really, you can't really afford many losses here, and all these teams are capable of beating one another, as we saw McLeod, the former championship, dropping their first game. So we're seeing here,
That's
Mark.
right. All teams are really vying for that top spot. It's really nice to have that bye into the final.
So here's Mark Dacey, the 2004 Brier champion. Hoping to get back to that Brier championship with this squad
that's
here.
Right. We also playing with Andrew Gibson, who's the lead for this team and a member of that winning squad.
Hard right out of the hand here. And that seems to be a lot of the strategy. They're going to be letting Andrew, who's probably one of the strongest sweepers, take control of this one. And they are going to move some stones around. So 2 yellow stones will spill out to the outside. And that blue stone will fall right on the button, perfectly guarded between a high guard and a low guard.
Earlier we were talking about whether Brent MacDougall was going to look at bailing here. And it's funny because it ended up being Shawn Adams who went for the high weight bail shot, because he just felt that the angles really had changed in Brent's favor. So we have another high hard one coming down here though. Mark wasn't able to clear as many yellow stones as he'd liked on that last one, so he's got 2 yellow ones kicking around, and just a late call there to just get the guard, because it wasn't going to curl up enough.
Yeah, no, right there. They wanted to peel away that guard, so Kevin Ouellette threw a nice peel. And peel shots are very interesting, as I find that's probably the shot that everyone finds looks the easiest, but is actually very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, it's hard to throw high weight accurately. There's that much less room for error.
Here comes Dacey the second. going to try and remove the yellow stone that's poking out a little bit on the 8-foot and try to sit 2. Keep in mind, MacDougall does have the hammer, so you're seeing a look at that. And so that one right on the white ring right there, that's going to be the target.
Yeah, if he makes this one, you'll likely sit 3, actually. Could have just put that guard back, but Shawn Adams okay with sitting 1, 2, 3 here, leaving, even though Brent has hammer. Brent's going to have a chance at some double here.
And he does get the hit and a little bit of a roll, not the complete roll that they would have liked. So it does poke out a little bit, but is there a double opportunity here?
Yeah, there's actually 2 double opportunities. You just have to choose
which one.
Which one's the best one to execute right now. Looks like Brent is going for the top and back one. But third, Kevin Ouellette's coming down here, and
he wants to have a better look.
I actually think if you doubled off the top one and the middle one and rolled a bit to the side would be a better result, because you're just going to leave the yellows fairly grouped together by making this double, and then Shawn Adams have a chance at a double of his own.
And you remove it, and all of a sudden all your momentum is gone. Yeah. So you went down to take another look. It looks like they chose a different way of coming down, so they're going to go with the intern instead.
No, I don't know if they changed much, actually. Just room seems in the same spot as it was before he went down.
Okay. Here comes Kevin's second shot.
I'm trying to leave that yellow there, but I'd really be trying to get it to go to the other side. But
so he is able to pull off a double, so he removes 2 of the blue stones, and the shooter will hang around and does have an opportunity to raise that one onto the blue later, but Shawn's going to take a look, see if he can remove both those yellow ones. As you're saying, there's that potential of grouping those 2 together, and there just might be a little bit of separation to avoid that, though.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty natural double here for Shawn. I really think Brent would have been better to try to move the yellow to the other side of the rings, but many ways to play this game of ours.
Doesn't seem like they're going for a double here.
They're just trying to hit and roll behind the yellow.
Yeah. Just a single takeout, hope for the roll here. Maybe to avoid the run back, and all of a sudden Team MacDougall's sitting 3. And that's the thing with curling. You can be sitting 1, and then next one mistake, and next thing you know, you're facing 3.
Yeah, if he rolls to the wrong spot here, though, Brent will have a pretty easy shot for 2.
There comes Shawn Adams, though, with his first. Hard on the sweep is Gibson. Gets the hit and the roll, and it'll pop out the other side, and Dacey's going to try and take this one as far as they can. And that will sit for a second shot.
That's a pretty good result.
That's the most important thing. They want to be able to be sitting 2 to force MacDougall to get 1.
Yeah, a bit of a shot here for Brent if he could ever spring that over after raising it onto the blue. Could make a raised double here to lay 2. Queued up pretty naturally, just a little bit high side.
Yeah, no, it should be all right. And key thing here is he just wants to be sitting 1 and force Adams to try and chase him. MacDougall still has an opportunity to pick up 2 here in this first end.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. He'd love to just be shot rock. But he's got a chance here.
So let's see how it goes. Whoa, it's close, though. You can tell it's close.
Yeah, they got to keep the line straight now.
Gets it nice and trying to roll over, and it will sit in for that shot stone. But it's going to be an open takeout here for Team Adams. Didn't get the roll they were looking for there.
No, they had to sweep it a bit more, I think. But you know what? A shooter stays in the rings. And any slight miscue on the high side here from Shawn, and you'll still have a shot for 2. So.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he hits it and keeps it away from his other blue stone.
Yeah,
he wants to avoid that double. Good eye there. We have a full, again, all 8 teams are in action. There's no buys here in this tournament, so if you want to know what's going on all the sheets, go to nscurl.com. And keep up to date on the scoreboards there. We'll let you know about who's playing in just a second after this end. Hard on this one is Gibson.
It's curling as well.
Gets it and a little roll over, and that should do the job.
Yeah, that's a really good stone from Shawn there. Won't be any chance for two there now.
I don't see the chance for two or so. And getting the one, so they're taking a look at it, so it looks like they're trying to decide, should you draw in or just remove that blue stone and sit to pick up the single?
Yeah, if you come up to nose of that blue stone, you'll count your one, but
let's see what
Skips like to draw, so
yeah, go with the draw. So he needs a piece of the forefoot to pick up his single. Here does Brent MacDougall. Or a little bit, just a little bit more than a piece, but a quarter.
Yeah.
As you can see behind, a great crowd here on hand for this Tankard draw, as we have a bunch of people here on the top floor as well, watching from above, and on the sidelines as well, out there on the ice. A huge group brought a bunch of blankets and gloves and are dressed very warmly for this affair. So if you are in the area, come by here to the Mayflower Curling Club, as we're seeing Brent MacDougall's final shot here in this first end. Going against two.
Line looks good. The sweeper is going to try to judge it correctly into the house.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that curl. Yeah, they're just waiting for that little curl.
Yeah, it should snap now. Yeah, the line's fine.
And now it starts breaking. That's what we've been saying, the difference here.
Needs to stop, though.
How far back will it go? And it's just going to go too far, so it's going to be a steal of one for Shawn Adams, as the draw just went in a little bit too deep. And going into the second end, here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard, Shawn Adams leads Brent MacDougall 1-0 here at the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So I was saying we have a bunch of games going on, and sheet number 2, we're going to be seeing Dexter going against Thompson over there. Dexter picked up a single and won. McLeod against Stevens. You can also tune in on that game. Sheet number 4.
Last rock thrower, Paul Fleming for Chad Stevens. Hitting against 4 right now. See what the result is. And they'll definitely have given up a steal. But stay with us to find out how many.
No, you can tune in to sheet number 4 to find out.
That's right. You can actually tune right in.
Yeah, and then over on sheet number 5, Danbrook against Murphy. Murphy picked up his deuce in the first end as we come back to our feature sheet over here. Of course, stay up to date on all the games at nscurl.com. Or if you want to join in on the conversation, use the hashtag NSCurl and let us know where you're cheering from, who you're cheering for, and thoughts about the game itself, as Gibson's first shot's going to come right in, just touching the forefoot.
That's right, and actually it was only a steal of 1 over on sheet 4, so 1-0 for Glenn McLeod there over Chad Stevens.
Be seeing Rob Moore come with his first now. This one's got a little bit of a weight to it, though. It's got to slow down a bit.
He looks okay. Some nice corner guard there from Rob.
It's just going to slow down. And again, sweeper's favorite job right there, when they don't have to sweep it and it goes perfectly in the position. So the corner guards are going to be played here for MacDougall, and Adams is just probably just going to guard that one shot that Gibson threw on his first.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that for now. Gonna have to bring this one over closer to center line, I think. Surprised they're not.
They're waiting for that finish,
Ian to sweep it over. That's a pretty good placement.
Yep, and set it, and then it looks like they're just going to draw right on top of that blue stone in the house. And this is what I'd like to see, a lot of rocks in play. You're going to be seeing a lot of strategy. But one thing you always have to keep in mind of is those 2 clocks on top of the scoreboard. What are those, Ryan?
Well, games are timed here at the provincial championships. The teams get 38 minutes of thinking time, we call it, for the games, and 2 90-second timeouts, I believe. So Clocks go down with the amount of time it takes you to decide on what shot to throw. This clocks stop as soon as the rocks are in motion, and it's in order to keep the play going at a reasonable pace and keep the tournament going, and make sure the ice makers have enough time in between draws to prepare the ice.
So we saw Moore's draw come in. That's try to get right on top of it, but couldn't do so. Just a little bit of separation between the yellow and the blue stone in the house.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good stone, though.
It's still a very good shot,
yeah.
But when you have two high caliber teams, that little difference might make everything. As we're seeing that little bump right there, just to make sure it's not lined up right on pat with each other.
Yeah, he won't be happy about that little kiss, though. This is given out for Brent.
Yep. So Granchelli gonna try and remove at least one of the blue stones. Jumping on this one right away.
Yeah, he really doesn't want to miss his chance at this back blue one. Ooh.
Just took a little piece off the blue. Almost just narrowly missing that double there as Granchelli, and Adams is going to do the same, hit and roll over, remove that yellow stone, and roll it in behind that guard on the other side of the center line. Second shot here for Fitzner-LeBlanc. And Gibson's on this one right off the bat. Gets a nice little roll, and look at that beautiful roll. Can't really place it any better there. That's what I call a perfect shot.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, yellows will still be lined up onto that blue, and Brent's going to make a play on them now. Even if you were just through, I think he just called for hack Wade, heard him yell there. I was going to say hack or back line. Just move the blue stone rather to the back of the rings. Hack's probably all right, though, because there are 3 stones there, so I doubt that blue will make it as far as the back line. But he's okay with the situation here so far. Really got to make sure they don't lose the line on this one, though.
Hard on the sweep here is Moore. Just going to get a tap and move the stones around.
My mistake. They actually hit it a bit thinner than they wanted to, trying to get it to curl there with the directional sweeping. Not a bad result. They dislodged the frozen situation a little bit. Shawn Adams still laying 1 and 3, I believe.
Yeah, it's 1 and 3 right now, and they're taking a look at that shot over on the left, trying to show how it is an option for them to hit and roll over later. So maybe they're thinking, let's just do the hit and roll ourselves, so they don't have that option. So Mark Dacey has come out, and let's see what kind of shot they're going to be choosing here.
Yeah, they might. Brent might make him pay for leaving that blue one there. But you don't want to leave too many yellows around either. So,
well, while we wait, we'll find out how these two teams got here to this point. Team Adams qualified number 2 by those CTRS points. Very important throughout the entire circuit. Pick up those points. So they got an automatic entry here to the provincials, while Team MacDougall got the 7th of the 8 spots, finishing up in the 5th spot here at the New Glasgow event. So they did just enough to get here, but that shows when you have a strong team like MacDougall just barely getting it in. That tells you how many great Nova Scotia men's teams there are here, as Dacey's going to come out with this stone.
Yeah, that's right. Shawn Adams is able to tailor their season a bit differently, knowing they had the direct entry into the provincial championship.
And this one's going to hit right onto the nose and just replace that yellow stone in the house. Keep in mind, Team MacDougall does have the hammer here in the second end.
That's right. He's going to call for a hack waiter again on this one in the 8 foot. makes a nice roll here. He will be laying 2 buried, so like I said, both teams kind of okay with the situation here.
And it's gonna be it has to be a very nice finesse shot though from Ouellette.
This one's curling. It seems that once you're inside that 4-foot line, it they held it nice though.
Great job from Moore and Granchelli on the sweep, and they get the nice rollover to the other side, and they're sitting first and second right now.
That's right. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, now you got to start to think, what are the different options this team has? They're going to run back their high guard there?
Yeah, and I think, that's the advantage of having Mark Dacey third stone is you can play offensively all end, most of the end, 3/4 of the end, and if the opposition makes a peach like that, well, you got a guy that'll bail you out 9 times out of 10. And here comes another one of those attempts. We saw a few in the first end already. And Adams still stole one. So a really strong team here. And obviously, dealt the setback with Craig's medical news. But seem to have recovered all right.
And a beautiful shot there from Dacey. It's almost a complete rolling behind the Yellowstone. So they're going to be sitting. It looks like they got the shot stone at the end there. But a great weight there coming in from Dacey. And he's able to move around that Yellowstone and get it out of play.
That's right. Brent's got to watch the grouping of these stones here because you're going to see them disappear in a hurry if they're anywhere near each other.
So here comes Kevin's second shot. Trying to get to that blue stone and get that in.
So they're trying to get that rock to curl there with Kevin sweeping on that side.
Gets a little bit slight one, but it jams on it, their own yellow stone and knocks it out of play and puts the Adams stone. Not sure which one is shot. I think Adams might be Shaw here. And this end just changed completely for Team Adams, and they might have another opportunity to steal another point here. So we'll have to stay tuned and see here as we're at the skip stones.
Yeah, Brent will have a clear path into the 4-foot for his draw regardless, but we saw what happened last end.
Exactly.
He's got to run after this yellow here, and it's not the most complicated of run backs, but there are 2 rocks involved, so that always makes the angles that much tougher to figure out.
Well, they got to make sure you got to hit it right on, or else it could end up terribly for them. So
this one's pretty straightforward, just slightly high side on side Mark's broom is on there.
So Shawn Adams with this first of 2. Trying to see if he can get that run. Mark is calling them off right now.
Yet.
And this one's hanging a little bit outside and just going to miss everything. And it didn't curl enough there.
Martin, had he caught that blue stone just a piece, it probably would have redirected right onto the rock full 8 there. So a bit lucky for Adams that things didn't go worse there, but definitely not the result that he wanted.
No, so MacDougall has that hit on the stone on the right side and a roll over to try and set 2, and that's their ideal situation with Hammer.
Yeah, I think he might be all right with nosing it and leaving it right there, but that will give Shawn a chance to make the roll himself. I'm just wondering, he might be afraid of leaving a double opportunity, a raised double opportunity granted for Shawn if he rolls too far into the middle. But definitely a break for Brent's team here. They'll try to capitalize and get their deuce.
Absolutely. Against a team like Team Adams, the mistakes are very far and few. And you got to make sure you capitalize on each one of them. And here's Team MacDougall's chance. Let's try and set 2 here. Just an easy clean right now for Moore. Now they're getting on it.
Sorry, it seems to.
Gonna get that roll now.
Yes, they're gonna go way over. It looks like they're gonna hang around for second shot, and that's actually
very good positioning. It's kind of out of the way there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to leave Shawn with a raised double opportunity, but Had to leave him something.
Yep, so they're going to just go on from that blue to the yellow, a little bit of a less difficult shot than the last one Shawn had to throw. As we have a great look out there on the ice, and great job there. We've seen some people there in the crowd. Going through the weather themselves on the outside. It's already cold outside, and it's probably about the same in here.
Yeah, it started snowing again tonight. A couple nights in a row here now for Halifax.
What was a call out of the hand?
Tightened up the ice here on this one after his second shot. He's definitely closer. Does he get the double? Oh, and he's going to jam it.
Yeah,
but look at the roll.
And the roll there works out perfectly. It goes in right behind the guard. And you're getting a great look at that right now, as that Bluestone just sat out perfectly for him.
Yeah.
And Brent said, you know what, fair play. I got to draw again for a single.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He'd have an in-off there on the rock on the side, on the left-hand side, but I think when it's the second end, you really don't want to go down two, so try to tie it up after two here, and
well, all you can really
go to three.
And really, all you can say is Brent's just pretty much saying, well, you know what, I played this end perfectly. I did what I had to do, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and this is where it's going to happen. You'll try to get a single here, tie this game up.
Yeah, that in-off is a pretty natural angle. I'd be pretty tempted at it myself, but it's probably the safer call here.
Just an easy clean. Now they're jumping on it. Are the sweepers, Granchelli and Moore. And this one is going to have to be taken by the sweepers. How far can they take it? It's really going
curling.
It's really curling. Can they get it by? And no, they're not going to. It doesn't have enough weight to that one.
It's a little light there from
Yeah,
Brent.
It was a little bit light from MacDougall. So it's another steal of one for Shawn Adams here, coming from the Mayflower Curling Club here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard. Here on Bell Line TV1, Team Adams leads 2-0 over MacDougall here on sheet number 3. Of course, you want to tune in and see what's going on the other actions, go to nscrow.com. It's our auto scoreboard there. Just keeps updating you what's going on all the sheets, so you can know what's going on here at the Nova Scotia Provincials here, as we're going to get things going right away here in this third end with Andrew Gibson. He's going to get the things going right away.
That's right, and over on sheet 5, Jamie Danbrook responded to Jamie Murphy's deuce with a deuce of his own in the second. So they're all tied up after 2.
And here comes Gibson. He's going to start things going here in this third end. Again, keep in mind, MacDougall still does have the hammer. So if they get a deuce here, they're right back in the game. And we're playing 10 ends, not the usual 8s that you normally see in tournaments or bonspiels or anything. They normally play 8. We're here in provincials. They play 10, so it allows teams more time, really, to get back into the game.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a longer time for the team that's up that needs to stay sharp and defend. So lots of curling left here tonight.
So right away, Gibson's going to draw into the 4-foot. And that seems to be the strategy. Some teams you start to see put the center guard, and Team Adams just saying, forget it, we're just going to put one in right off the start.
Yeah, well, especially if you're up 2. It's really the ball's in the other team's court as far as making an aggressive move. So you're happy to throw that first stone in the rings.
And the corner guard coming in might be just a little bit hot. Will it find itself in the rings? Yes, it will.
Yeah, so that's a mistake there. You really need that rock to be out front.
So it's just going to be nose takeout here for Gibson. And you're just waiting for this one. Just going to have to curl just a tiny bit more. And it goes right over to the nose. No problems there. And will it stay in? And they don't even want that in. Fitzner-LeBlanc will sweep it. He didn't even. Looks like they don't want that one in play, but it will stick around just out on the outer edge. And this will give Moore another opportunity to replay that corner guard.
Yeah, the offense is going to keep going here from Brent. Try to generate his deuce, but it's hard when you don't make the first one. It's, when you're playing the 5-rock rule on the tour and some of the slams, it's a different story. But with the 4-rock rule, you really only get one crack at the corner guard.
And that shows you the importance of every single position here on the team. Used to be back in the day when you'd say, oh, Leeds not probably the worst player in the team, and not anymore. Everyone has their individual skills and can bring in some individual parts to their game tier to this team.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're saying, yeah, with that miss of the corner guard, and since we're playing the 4-rock rule, right away Adams can remove that guard, and they're going to peel this one away, does Ian?
Yeah. He's going to have to watch the jam on that blue at the back there, but...
they were ready for that one.
yeah, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
So they're just going to keep replaying that corner guard and hope for a mistake here, and that's what it really will come down to. Who's going to make that first move, and it'll probably have to be Team MacDougall. But we saw in that first, and it was Team Adams that made the first move just because everything kind of set up nicely for themselves, so they had to make that move when they had the chance. And this one will sit nicely. No sweeping needed. And Adams right away looks like they're gonna try and peel this one away. Just look. Yeah, same shot here.
Yep. On sheet 2 next door, Stuart Thompson responds with a single of his own. It's 1-1 there against Paul Dexter. Dexter with hammer in 3.
Both Gibson and Dacey on the sweep here. Gets the peel away. Make sure it doesn't hit their blue over there. They avoid it a second time. And
don't know if there'll be much board left after this end, but
yeah, the boards are getting their work in right now. And right away they know this is where the thinking time comes in handy. They know exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to waste any time. Save that time for future ends, and they're just going to set up a corner guard right off the bat.
Yeah.
He threw this one a little bit lighter, but they left it up to the sweepers, and they put it to the exact position they wanted. And again, we're going to be seeing it's going to be Dacey now removing. That's what we're going to be seeing until we get down to the skip stones, where Brent might have to finally start to make a move on that blue stone in the house. And that's the importance, Ryan. What'd you say about Gibson just drawing in on his first shot?
Yeah, I mean... if he played the center guard, he would have come around with his second's first shot anyway. So here we go. Brent's going to make a move on the one in the house now. Doesn't even seem to want to tap it back or anything. He's just going to play the hit. So I think this is Brent's way of saying...
actually, it doesn't look like that. It looks like they're doing one more.
Oh, they're putting another corner, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing one more corner here.
Just an unbelievable amount of rocks in play next door on sheet 4 between Chad Stevens and Glenn McLeod. You can catch that one on our live stream with Bell TV1.
And that one will go almost exactly where the other ones have been. And once again, peel away. Not the most exciting ends, but it just shows you when it comes to something technical like this, one little mistake, when it comes especially on peels, we mentioned, one mistake and it's not like a draw. You can't have just say it won't move. It's gone.
Yeah, but the experience these guys bring to the table takes care of most of that. It'll be interesting to see whether Brent decides to play some kind of freeze tap or just the open hit, more or less conceding the blank at that point if he goes that route. That's why I'm interested in seeing what he'll do. And softer weight here to save the shooter. That'll change things up a little bit.
So a hit and roll over in behind the blue stone seems to be the call.
Yeah, and even if this is made perfect, Shawn Adams will have about a foot raise on his blue stone. So not much being generated here for Brent MacDougall.
An easy clean right now.
And, you know, this really all started with the first stone at the end going in. We got to get that first corner in the right spot. And
will the shooter hang around? No, it won't. And the shooter will find its way out as well. So if you're Team Adams here, you're probably going to look to split the rings here, right?
Yeah. He'll be happy with making Brent MacDougall draw for his single at the end. That's
for the third time.
That's played out well for them in the last 2 ends.
So you're hearing right there, Ian, just telling the times over to Shawn. Both are on the sweep right out of the hands. Not just an easy clean. They don't want this one too deep. They, of course, want this near the top of the rings.
Yeah, I'll try to make it even with the other stone and prevent any kind of double option for Brent.
And this one, it's a pretty wide double, but it is makeable.
Yeah, it's pretty flat. I mean,
yeah, but there
looks
like
give it a try anyways. But
yeah, he's gonna try and maybe get as close as he can over to that blue stone.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit harder for Shawn to remove his yellow stone.
Yeah, Brent can definitely throw it hard. There's a score of 2 for Chad Stevens when all was said and done on ice 4. They have a 2-1 lead over the defending champions, Glenn MacLeod. That's the other sheet you can tune into and listen to tonight at our broadcasting of the second draw of men's plate here at the East Coast Credit Union Tankard.
All right, so Granchelli on the sweep right now. Moore's joining in as well. They're going to get the hit and try to roll over as far as they can to the blue, and doesn't get much of one.
That's the problem when it's so flat. You have to hit it so thick that often on curling club ice, you're not going to get a 9-foot spring on a rock that you hit 85% of.
So just a hit and roll over here for Adams here on his final shot. Trying to force MacDougall to draw again here in this third end.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he wants this one to stop. He might try to have it flop towards the center line slightly, trying to coax Brent into a tricky hit. I think Brent will be tempted. Will probably go to the draw regardless.
Yeah, it looks like this one will just get right onto the nose as it does. And right away, let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to... And I think Brent said, you know what, I have enough of draws. Let me just hit and stick here for the one.
Agree. Yeah.
And that's going to be the call here. So Brent's just going to go for that hit and stick his shooter around, pick up his single here in the third end. Final shot here in the third end. Brent MacDougall going against 2 blue Adams stones, trying to hit and stick. An easy clean coming in right now from Moore. Now Moore's jumping on it.
Yeah, so he's trying to get this rock to curl towards the center here with some directional sweeping. And
they'll get the hit in the stick, no problem.
Get the nose hit for shot rock, no problem.
And they will pick up their 1 point here. After 3 ends here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard, it is Shawn Adams 2-1 over Brent MacDougall as we're going to go on the 4th end, and we're going to see Team Adams now with the hammer and their opportunity to try and see if they can extend their lead here on Bellline TV 1. Keep in mind, Team Adams did win their first game 6-5 in that extra end, and MacDougall dropping their first game. They can't really afford to go 0-2 early in this tournament.
That's right. In this 18 round robin, 4-3 really seems to be the bubble, and that might be good enough to get you into a tiebreaker situation. But with teams field this strong, it might just leave you looking in from the outside as well.
We'll have to wait and see as the days progress here. It's only day number 1 of the Tankard. So many days of great action coming ahead of you here. And if you want, it's $5 for the single pass, $25 for the entire event. Come out to the Mayflower Curling Club. That's a great price to watch some great curling action.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great atmosphere here. It's great to watch it. It's one thing on TV, but it's a whole other thing in real life when you really capture the emotion and
the essence, I like to call it.
Well, the guys are intense out there. A lot on the line, and they all want to win their games, and you can really see that come through when watching it live.
So there's Moore putting up that nice center guard, and Team Adams is going to come in around it. This one's got some weight to it, though. And it might fall in just behind the tee.
Yeah.
And once they recognize it will, they're just going to try and take this one as far as they can. And it's just going to go into the back forefoot. And MacDougall here is just going to go right on top of it. And I don't know if that was exactly what they were looking for in that situation, Ryan.
Yeah, they would have definitely loved to be above the tee line there. It's going to give Brent an out at the situation. But Brent better make it now, or else he's not going to get to another try at it, I don't think.
So here comes Rob Moore's second shot, trying to get over to him hard on the line here.
Yeah, the line looks okay.
Weight only.
It'd be really nice to just leave it at the top of the button, because if you bring it down to the face of that stone, there will be room for another stone. And there you see, there is room for Shawn to put another one there on the top. Yeah, if I'd have been MacDougall, I would have really been tempted to try to leave that on the top of the button instead of the back button. It would have made all the difference.
So Gibson with this second. As once again, we're seeing a lot of rocks here in play between these two teams. And then once they start to get a little bit crowded, they're not afraid to throw that big weight to knock it all away.
Yeah, that's right. 4 nice shots in a row here. Andrew Gibson coming down, and as I said, this blue stone is going to be shot rock.
Yeah, it's going to come right on top, give a little bit of a separation, and this is what I like to call the conga line, where you're starting to just add one stone on top of each other, or the snake, a lot of people call it. And Brent's going to look at Granchelli to add another one right on top of that line of stones.
Yeah, Martin, it's really a battle of angles when the play gets into this kind of exchange. And doesn't take much for one team to have to go to the bailout just because the angle wasn't queued up perfectly. But so far we've had 4 pretty nice stones.
But this one, they're going to have to sweep this one. This one looks light.
Yeah, the sweeper's going to have to drag it, but I think they can bring it pretty far.
Can they, though? It doesn't have enough. Great job, Moore. And Ouellette trying to take this one as far as they can. And it's just going to come up a little bit light.
So we're going to bite the 8-foot. It's not all bad. They would have liked that a little bit further, but if Shawn hits and rolls away, you'll have another chance at it. Thing for Kris there, you got to, with those shots, it's you really don't want to be light. But, you know, you throw a little heavy, it stays wider, hits and rolls off. It's an awful result as well. So just goes to show the precision of the shots that are being demanded here.
And this one was really curling. And then Dacey had to jump on this one.
Come straight back.
Yeah, and it's going to move around those stones in behind, but it's going to hit and roll off the blue stone and spin out to the outside corner of the 8-foot. And that one just really was diving towards that guard. Once they realized that they had to sweep that to make sure it didn't crash.
Yeah, so that's actually a better situation now for Brent than it was before. I don't think Shawn will be too happy with that result because he's unlodged the frozen yellow one. It's actually now frozen on a back blue stone. And, you know, Brent makes this double perfect here. He'll be laying, well, I guess he'll just be laying shot rock, but they'll be pretty guarded. And he's got a chance at the out here. Just high side. Hit the blue, and the angle should send it through those 2 yellows.
Granchelli throwing big way here, and this one looks like it's just going to peel away here.
Oh,
and it's going to go right on the yellow.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that one had to curl much more. And I thought it was looking as an appeal, but it started to curl in a little bit later, and they ran it back right onto the yellow stone. And all of a sudden, Team 2, when MacDougall had a great chance to pick up a steal of one just based on the scenario. And now Adams with hammer, too. They're in the driver's seat here, Ryan.
Yeah, what a turnaround. I mean, yeah, that's curling. Speaking with our co-commentator Jim Nix this afternoon, we've seen so many games already just be decided on rubbing the back edge of a guard, or that really is a game of inches, like they say.
So they're going to get this one right around hard on the line here. Just getting it by. Great job on the line call there from Adams, and they get it right placed for third shot.
Yeah, I don't know, did he make it too good? Because now if Brent ever makes the hit and roll, he'll be behind two guards. I think Shawn might have liked leaving that blue stone a little off the center line, left-hand side, as we're looking at now, and to prevent this hit and flop behind. But we'll see if Brent's able to capitalize. There's options for both teams here, just trading back and forth.
So Kevin Ouellette with his first, trying to see if he can do that hit and roll as you were just mentioning, Ryan. It's going to be a nice finesse shot. Granchelli on the sweep.
And this one's closer to the center line, so it seems it's going to curl earlier as well.
Yeah, they're really going to have to
really want to
sweep.
miss that blue.
And they just get it by both, getting the roll over, and it rolls right over to the blue stone in the back for the shot stone. And now you got to look, is there enough separation? I think there is, and just to come in, and even if they remove their own blue, just remove both those two stones here, Ryan.
Yeah, and I don't even really think they have to kill their blue, but it looks really good, but Brent really would have rathered the straight roll behind those guards. Still a bit of a chance for Shawn to get out of that. Anything high side avoids the blue, and you actually have a kicker on the side there if you want to roll to the side. You're going to see Brent
that's what they're looking at right there.
Try to keep rolling it through to the center.
Yeah, you were just mentioning that. So they do have that Yellowstone over on the right side of your screen. They're using as an option as well.
Yeah. Take this extra minute to tell you about a few singles in the third ends over on our other sheets. We have Paul Dexter took one over Stuart Thompson. They've traded 3 singles in a row now. So it's 2-1 Dexter, Stuart in 4, and a single for Jamie Murphy in third end on ice 5. He's up 3-2 on Jamie Denbrook.
So Dacey with his, trying to see if he can get that Yellowstone and roll over nicely. And now they're saying yep, and here comes. That's when you know it's close, when it's yep and yes and no.
Yeah, it's usually a good sign.
And they get that. Can they get that? And yes, they are. Gets that nice, beautiful rollover. And that was a great shot there from Dacey.
Yeah, the only downside to that shot is that Brent has a few options here. He could just hit and roll right in front of it and kind of make the freeze quite a bit better. Or if you were to ever hit it thin and kiss off the back blue, it would actually roll up to the button area. He's got a couple options here. I think the call is just the hit and roll to the freeze position. The bounce off the around the horn, as Vic Router might say, is a little trickier, but let's see what happens here.
Guess that hit.
Yeah, see, he kind of got caught in between.
Yeah.
He's going to get a good roll still, and I think he is shot rock. Yeah, shot rock buried. It's not a bad result. Going to force Shawn into playing it on this side that's been curling really hard. Be Mark Dacey's second stone, rather.
And that's why you're seeing him giving a little bit more ice here on this one. Maybe you could kind of say like more backline on this way.
Yeah, exactly. As long as he doesn't throw anything more than that, it should bust in nice. You just want to make sure you've called the line right, that it's not busting right into that top blue. Because once she goes, she goes.
Dacey with his second. Yep, right out of the hand.
Yeah, this one's going to be tight. I think they, I don't know if they've. Okay. It's okay. It's a great line call from Shawn there at the other end. Does he have enough of it?
Ooh, just gets a piece and it'll roll out.
Yeah, and that's really all he needed. He was laying 1 and 2 now, so.
Yep. It does bump it back enough, and there's nothing to really run off on. So that's just going to leave Brent to go after that rock on the right.
Yeah, I guess the good news for Brent about that Yellowstone not going any further is that if he ever makes the same kind of roll and peeks out a piece on the left-hand side, any kind of similar shot to the last one on Shawn's would come onto that yellow one. So options for both teams here once again.
And that's usually what it comes to when you get down the Gibson stones. There's so many variables, and we'll see which one comes to fruition here as they're going to go after the blue stone. Let's see where the yellow one lands up after. Remember, join in on Twitter with the hashtag NSCurl. And just no S, just a curl. NS curl.
No, it actually is NS Curls.
Is it curls?
With an S, yeah.
Okay, I got told NS curl.
I'm pretty sure it's with an S.
So, you know what? Do both. Just to make it happy.
Our head commentator over here for 2 seconds.
And they are able to hit down that blue stone and roll it over. So they're going to sit, looks like shot stone right now. But Team Adams is set up in a good position here. To sit 2 here. They're going to look to hit and roll him behind the center. So you're going to see, you can hear Dacey right now saying, you know how much it's curling when we curled all the way out there, and he's trying to tell that.
My apologies, Martin. It is hashtag NSCurl with no S. That's something that has changed from the games this morning to now.
Well, there you go.
And I think we actually did get a few shout-outs on the NS Curls hashtag this morning, but
right.
eye out for NS Curl now.
We'll keep an eye out for both, but it should be NS Curl for future reference. Don't worry. So you can see right there.
So he didn't quite get the roll, eh?
No,
and he moved the yellow.
So it looks like Adams is going to hit and roll and try to stay on the center line.
Brent's going to have one last chance here to get a good stone in a good spot.
And now they're going on this one. This line looks good.
Oh, that really took
off. And do they get anything? No, they don't. They don't get any of the 2 Yellowstones in the back. And it finds its way through the hole between those 2. And, yeah, we were saying that's what Dacey was pointing out when they're going down. It really starts to cut once it gets to the hogland. And that one just took off. And once they jumped on it, it was a little late. And
yeah, they really lost that one, yeah.
And now it's the options here for MacDougall because they know if they're trying to figure out which way they want to draw in and where they want to place it because they know if they're sticking out, it's just another hit and stick for Adams for 2. So they got to figure out a way. How do they avoid? How do they force Adams to take 1, or how do they avoid Adams getting 2? Is the situation here?
Yeah, it's tempting. Well, I mean, you could if you throw the run back, you're giving Shawn a draw to the 8-foot for his single, and you know, if you're okay with giving Shawn 1, that's probably the call. Here, I think Brent feels, you know, he's down 1 without hammer. He'd really like to force the issue as much as he can. So he's going to go for the draw around everything here, loop around everything. And we've seen great finish. So if he ever threw the perfect combination of line and weight, he could bury one on the pin. And Shawn would have to follow him down for 1, and that would be a much tougher shot for 1 for Shawn.
And really, besides the front end, we haven't seen many draws in so far.
Oh, and they're not panicking about line yet, but here it comes. Does he have weight?
They're good. Now, where is it going to finish up? Dacey's going to try and drag this one. And did you see that finish right there?
Yeah, I think that picked back 4 there, and it picked to being dead buried.
Absolutely crazy right there. This one looked like it kept going and just froze right there.
I saw Mark Dacey take a look at his hairbrush after that and say,
how did that happen?
Did I do that?
It was a huge collective sigh here from the crowd, just going, oh, when they saw that happen there. And that's going to force a draw in from Adams. And maybe if they even come to that Yellowstone, is it possible to even bump up back that Yellowstone if they...
I don't think to throw the weight you need to move the yellow, I don't think you'll get that kind of finish. That yellow is 100% buried.
So we'll just be a drop for a single here for Team Adams. And they're recognizing the curl. They're trying to jump on that early. Still didn't curl. Waiting for that to take off.
This one looks like it's gliding. And will he be able to sweep it past the yellow?
Let's see where it ends up. No, it's going right on top of the yellow, and it is for Shawn Adams. So after 4 ends, we've had a bunch of singles so far, but the couple steals are the difference here. As Adams leads Team MacDougall 3-1 here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard here. You're listening to Martin Ohms and Ryan Corsell here at Belline here at the upper deck of the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We have a great view. I don't think anyone could have a better view than we have right now for this sheet.
No, that's right. It's pretty good. And I think Brent will be happy with that. He's going to go pretty hard with his deuce here and gets his deuce all tied up at the halfway point.
Yeah, keep in mind after the 5th end, the teams do take a couple-minute break, talk strategy, talk with their coaches. Well, neither of these two teams have coaches, but talk strategy and figure out a way to get them what their plan is for the next 5 ends.
That's right. And with the 2-point lead, isn't going to force the issue right away. It's going to send Andrew's first stone right into the forefoot.
Yeah, and he's been doing that all game long so far. No problems for Gibson, and he's never really had many issues in that lead position. Very strong player.
I think Andrew is a lifelong lead and has embodied the position well.
Yeah, and it's going to be key for Moore to set up that corner guard here. And he's going to leave this one up for the sweepers.
Yeah, but this is a better start to the end than the 3rd with the going in then. So he'll be happy with getting that corner guard up. Shawn has to play the center guard here. Brent has the opportunity to go around his corner, and we have ourselves an end.
And we have a little smile there from Brent towards the camera as he turned over and looked.
No, sorry.
And it'll be Gibson coming with the second, trying to. Just an easy clean coming in from Dacey. And they'll sit very nicely. Just a little bit of an extra curl there at the end. And going to leave it a little bit exposed, but they're still going to just draw in right on top of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not using his corner guard. I suppose that would give Shawn the opportunity to throw a better guard up, but he's going to follow it down, just try to freeze to it top 8.
They're saying they got to take it for weight. And they got to go for a line as well. So sweepers here. Ouellette and Granchelli trying to take as far as they can, and it's going to hit that guard that Gibson just threw. And it's going to spill out in front. Yeah, it's just a little bit light.
So a single, just to update our other games quickly, a single by Glenn McLeod in the 3rd end has tied that one up at 2. That's our other feature sheet over on sheet 4. And a single by Jamie Danbrook in 4 has tied that game up at 3 on sheet 5. So 3-3, 2-2. So
we're going to look at Ian Fitzner-LeBlanc and move that yellow guard. That was played in by Moore. Give them no run back opportunities. Gonna hit it, make sure it hits none of their blue stones, and it doesn't, goes by. And that's what they would have liked. And right away, Brent said nose hit here on the guard that Ian just threw.
Yeah, Brent's opting for the bail shot a little earlier this end.
He doesn't want to put himself too much under, it seems. So we have Grant. Whoa, right out of the hand. And now they're getting on it.
Yeah, he's trying to make that curl there with the pushing the sweeping in the direction of the curl.
And I think that was a little bit of a plan B. That one right out of the hand. I think he was inside on that one because they recognized that was off right off.
Well, nowadays, Martin, with the new directional sweeping methods that are out there, trying to get really the thought is that you really can't control the stone no matter which way you're trying to get it to do. So with that one, I think he recognizes a little wide. He's really trying to make it curl in towards the shot, but not successful. We've seen the directional sweeping be a bit more effective with the hair brush on the inside, as you see Mark Dacey do now. That's a great shot of it there now.
So explain the differences, because you see both the sweepers, they have two different brooms right there. What are the differences between the two?
Well, the idea is that with the hair broom in closer to the stone, pushing in the same direction as the curl, that it's more effective when you're trying to get the rock to curl over to its destination. You'll keep just that broom down on the ice, pushing, again, in the direction of the curl. If board weight, tack weight hit, you're actually trying to keep the rock straight, you'll have synthetic sweeper go down and brush in the direction against the curl, and the idea, and a beauty of a shot there.
Wow, I didn't even think they could have done that one, and they are able to jump on that, clear it out, and all of a sudden, there goes all the blues.
Yeah, it's a great shot. So, sorry, just to come back, you'd be trying to push, it all depends on the curl. You're trying to push against the curl, you're trying to keep the rock straight, push with the curl, you're trying to get the rock to curl. So hardly ever on those shots will you see two sweepers anymore. Conventional theory that you only use both sweepers when you're sweeping for legs, they say, when you're sweeping for weight, when you just need to get the rock farther and curl, and the line isn't as much a part of the shot. But it definitely is a lot to keep on top of and to keep straight, really, for spectators and for the players. We've seen quite a bit of confusion during the professional events as the sweepers are there, because in the trajectory of a stone, you might be trying to do both things on the same stone, so you see a lot of the skips now just yelling out names as to who the most appropriate person is to sweep in each situation, and it's definitely laddered a whole other level of awareness.
Yeah, it's a huge element to the curling game now. So you saw Dacey just draw into the 4-foot, and it looks like MacDougall wants to use those yellow stones on the outside and make them useful and get in behind them and see if he can set up for two here. But Granchelli, what a shot there, though. Unbelievable, removing 3 blues there.
Yeah, he just queued them up perfectly, like a pool table. But, yeah, Brent's got a couple nice corner guards here to use.
They're saying a little heavy.
Yeah, this one's got to walk over. This is an opportunity here where you might see Kris start sweeping in the direction of the curl to try to get it to curl. But that one's a little too hot to bring that into play. Hangs around back 12.
Back 12 and Shawn's going to try and do the exact shot that Brent's team. And then you right away, and that's what you have with the sweepers. And when you start to see when they know that those times down amazingly, right out of the hand they knew it's a little hot, it's going to go into the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have a lot of players now that don't even use a stopwatch to do it all by feel and have
a mixture of both.
Most respect with them. Yeah, you see a lot of teams use both. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which are one player with a stopwatch and one without.
Yeah, it's a disadvantage of having that rock slide to the back is that Shawn can follow it down, but he's got to stay above the team here as well. He's going to give Brent another chance at it.
Whoa.
And there you saw Ian trying to get it to curl, but Shawn's saying it might be a little too hot for that, but they're going to bring it down to the rock on the back 12 anyways.
That's their plan B. They said, okay, let's bring it to that Yellowstone. And that's going to leave Ouellette with a second chance to try and draw in behind those guards.
Yeah, if you just take 3 feet off that stone, it'll warp right around those corners. And you really want to be above the tee line here.
Hard on the sweep, right out of the hand. Hard for line, I would think.
There seems to be lots of room.
But you're starting to really break. And they're good. And now try to bury it.
Yeah, just sweeping for weight. They're trying to get a second shot. And no.
They'll go for third. And fortunately, 2 misses there for Ouellette on those draws. And that's going to leave the advantage over here for Team Adams after Granchelli removed the 3, and somehow Adams fought his way back in this opportunity for 2 here.
Yeah, Kevin really knew how important it was to be above the tee line there.
Force a single for MacDougall.
And just over-adjusted there slightly. It's a tough game out there. It's not difference in the force that Kevin was kicking out from the hack between the one that ended up back 12 and the one that ended up top 8. It's a very, very, very minuscule difference at the other end, and that's why it's so easy to over-adjust like that sometimes.
Shawn Adams with his first of 2. Just making sure everything's clean around by the hack. Just a clean. Screaming Hardy, and like you said, they just call out the names now and take it as far as they can. And that one, not the shot they were looking for there.
That's a bit of a miss there from
what
Shawn.
happened there? That's quite a huge separation of the ice there between the 2 blues there. That one maybe too light, didn't curl enough, too much ice. What do you think there, Ryan?
Yeah, just light all day.
So it leaves MacDougall with the chance to hit that open bluestone. Try to see if he can roll over to the other side.
Yeah, I don't know which he'd prefer, the roll over to the other side or just behind the blue. Of course, just behind the blue will leave a run back opportunity, but if you roll to the other side, you're going to see Shawn try to make a better draw.
So let's see what they decided. See what they want to leave. What shot they want to leave for Adams.
You hear Mark Dacey calling on Kris there to sweep, trying to get that to curl, to get that roll.
And they're going to get it
right
in behind.
to the pin.
And they get just a little bit of separation, so it's not a straight run back.
Yeah, it actually might have peeked out just slightly to the side. Shawn's not really looking at the run back at all.
No, he's going to say, let's go right on top of it.
Yeah, I think I'd like to tap it back maybe 2 feet there to be shot rock. But the dead freeze would make a shot for 2 really difficult for Brent, so I'm sure he'd be fine with either.
So Shawn's in a very good position if he makes this shot to force MacDougall, at worst case scenario, to a single.
Yeah, it's going to make, I mean, Brent has the whole button on the other side, and there's all you need, eh, Martin? Just
it is what we've seen.
2 feet of ice.
Draws here have been a little bit tricky for both teams so far. And they're saying, whoa, on this one. This one's got some weight. That one is way too heavy.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's starting to come in, and wow, it really started to take off. Because right away, they're based on their reaction, they're thinking, no way this ever coming in. It didn't look like it, too. And then when they got a hog line, it just cut in, and Adams, right, he thought He didn't expect that to come in.
Well, he just had back ring weight, so you knew he was going to walk over there at the end. And it's not a bad, I think,
But did
left
they,
Brent second shot rather. So he's going to have a hit for 2 here.
Yeah, it's a hit for 2 here for MacDougall. And that's not what Team Adams needed. And that's what I said, 1 shot here changed the complexion of Ouellette. And one second you could be forcing MacDougall for a tough single, and now he has just a hit and stick for 2 here to tie this game up.
Yeah, so it really was heavier weight than Shawn wanted on his, because if he made a shot, the shot wouldn't be there. He definitely didn't want to leave Brent the chance for 2. And if you're Brent, boy, you really want to make this one tie game after 5.
Final shot here in the 5th end. Brent MacDougall skip coming from the Mayflower Curling Club.
And he's just going to throw a nice board weight, control weight take out there. He does need a bit of curl at the end. You see them switch sweepers now. Switch sweepers, rather. Rob's trying to get that to curl in. He wants to avoid the back yellow.
Is it? Oh, no. And it doesn't.
It's just going to be a single.
And it's, yep, just the single. So instead of 2, it's a 1 for Brent MacDougall. And they're going to go into the break with Team Adams leading MacDougall 3-2 here at the 26th and East Coast Credit Union Tankard. You're here tuned in on Bellline TV1. Ryan Corso. We're going to take a couple-minute break, and we'll see you guys in just a bit. Looks like we're good to go. Check one.
So we're back, action underway here in the sixth end. Shawn Adams with hammer here in six. First stone from MacDougall lead Rob Moore, settling into the button area.
Falling just behind the. And thank you for everyone who is tuned in here for the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard here on Bell Alliance TV1. Martin Ohms here, joined by Ryan Corso, as we're watching these two teams fight it out here, trying to see if they can improve their round-robin scores. So we mentioned here earlier, 8 teams here for this. They play each other once, so 7 games. Top 3 advance to the playoffs. So you really, once you're at 2 losses even, you're starting to worry a little bit. And once you get to 3, you're on that bubble. So each game very important for each team. As we're seeing MacDougall set. He's going to play a center guard here for Moore, as Gibson played that nice corner guard. Reintroduce the lineups. You got Rob Moore at lead, Christopher Granchelli over in second, Kevin Ouellette in third, and Brent MacDougall is the skip. On Team Adams, you have Andrew Gibson as the lead, Ian Fitzner-LeBlanc second, third, and Shawn Adams is the skip for the Bluestone team.
That's right, Martin. All the games here on the second draw of the men's action has reached their halfway point. We have a big steal of 2 for Chad Stevens over defending champions Glenn MacLeod on sheet 4. That's another game that's actually being streamed live here on Bell TV1. And so Glenn MacLeod will have the hammer in 6, but he's down 5-2 to Chad Stevens.
And of course, if you want to keep up to date with the scoreboard without having to wait for us, you can go to nscurl.com and catch the automated scoreboard. They're giving you all the up-to-date stats and scores, as we're going to be seeing Gibson with the second try to draw in around. Looks to be no problems, and now just waiting for that finish. Since that yellow shot there from Moore is in behind the T-line, that made all the difference there, didn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, a really great position there from Andrew Gibson. Brent's going to have to deal with that one. And, yeah, you know, you throw your first rock at the end. Don't really think about the positioning that much. But if that rock was top button, Shawn goes corner guard, Brent goes center guard, and then that freeze is in as peach of a position as it was. So every rock has to be precisely placed exactly where you want it.
And here you have Granchelli's with his. This one has a little bit of, might bump it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Little love tap off the bluestone and will roll off. And with that little roll off, actually, I feel like Adams can just play another one on top of this one if his is blue.
Yeah, Brent would have really rathered staying on the higher side of that bluestone, not rolling off as it did. This definitely puts Shawn in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, keep in mind this Team Adams squad stole an extra point in the extra end against MacLeod's squad to win 6-5 this morning, while MacDougall squad lost 7-6 to Stevens. Those two teams are playing over on sheet number 4, and they'll be back in action tomorrow in the afternoon at 12, where Adams will be going against Dexter and MacDougall is going to be going against Murphy.
Nice stone there from Shawn, boys.
Yeah, Fitzner-LeBlanc. Fitzner-LeBlanc is doing a great job there.
Ian, yeah.
He's coming down his shots very well. Maybe not too used to the sweeping, but I haven't seen any effect of that here yet. maybe we'll check back on Friday or Saturday when he might start feeling it in the arms a bit.
Yeah. So fifth end steals across the board here. As boards, we have a steal in the fifth for Jamie Danbrook. He's up 4-3 now on Jamie Murphy. And a steal in the fifth from Stuart Thompson. He's up 4-2 on Paul Dexter. It's looking really sharp, the Stuart Thompson team.
So Granchelli with his second. Try to see if he can add his Yellowstone on top of the already growing mess by the button.
Yeah, the only problem is he settles in there for fifth shot.
And Adams has no problem. He's just going to add another one on top. Keep in mind, D-Man does have hammer here in this end after MacDougall missed the takeout 4-2 and up with one at the end of the fifth end. And those little mistakes have just been the difference in this game. Even though it's just singles, they're adding up.
Yeah, there's a couple missed opportunities for Brent for sure. I'm wondering if you might see him make a play here on the middle blues. This is going to overcurl.
This did very overcurl, and it's going to go right onto the...
He's just really light there from Ian, I think.
You're really light, and it's not even going to make it to the guard. And it's going to be a high guard. And now if you're Brent here, what kind of options do you really have in this situation? Do you add another one on top here?
I think, it's a bit more complicated now that Ian's went and placed that unintentional guard there. But I think if you were to come down back ring weight, tight to the guard, you should be able to hit the blue on anything on the high side. And I think that should squirt that middle blue out the middle. And they could be laying one or two after. But, it might be the only shot he has at that middle blue.
All right.
Of the end, so we really might want to give it a shot.
So they're pointing at the top 12 there.
Yeah, placing it there is kind of...
Or they're...
Kind of tells me they're okay with giving Shawn one, but it's down one. You really want to... I don't know. I'd be going pretty hard for a steal if I were them. But
they're put one there and then use that stone to angle it later. So it looks like it's a two-step plan here.
Yeah, the only problem is Shawn Adams' team gets to throw one in between.
I'll wait and see here. As Kevin Ouellette will set up in the hack. As action gets back underway on all the other three sheets, our game's just slightly ahead. T-line is the call. Now they're saying top four. Weight only. They're saying
really
weight
want
only.
It to curl.
Really
need it to curl.
Well, let's take a tick off the bluestone. No, they're by it. And this one will settle down a little bit deeper than they would have liked, and it gets a rollover.
Yeah, and again, had that just stopped 2 inches higher, my God, it'd have been really good for him.
Yeah, you want to be on top of that blue one. Unfortunately, they came in, and they're right next to it. And that'll give Adams more access, and they're just going to... Yellowstone is the only one really causing them problems right now. The other yellows are really just helping Team Adams, I would say.
Yeah, I can't do much with that yellow, though. Yeah, I try to unlock the back ones, but I think you want to keep the back ones right now.
Yep. We're adding another one on top of the Yellowstone on the left side of your screen. So Dacey just taking a split second before coming out of the hack.
Winner of the draw is number 312205.
On this one, right out of the hands. Here goes Gibson, trying to take this one.
Yeah, they're definitely
looking
gonna
good.
tap something here with
Yeah,
this kind of weight.
it's going to be moving something. And it's going to bump something around. And it's still I don't know which one is second shot right now. Take a look here, Ryan. This
I
is,
think it's yellow. You might even have yellow being 2 and 3.
yeah. So Brent's taking a look, and now maybe add one up over on the right side. Uncrowded button here. Let's try and see if we can listen in and see what they're saying.
I think Brent's
Yeah,
kind of playing to give Shawn 1 here. He's not being too aggressive on that stone on the pin.
it seems
doesn't
Brent's,
have many ways into it.
Yeah, Brent's game's plan. It seems like they're fine. He's fine. Give up 1 here and try to get his deuce with the hammer.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Number 31227444.
So a big shot here for Ouellette, trying to see if he can get on top of those stones on the right side. That's the key part. Top 8.
Yeah,
Hard for line though. Really hard for line.
Lines be okay.
They're good now.
Bring
Yep.
it in.
They don't want to bump here.
They don't want to bump because they think they might be second shot.
And they're gonna come right on top of it. Oof. Just a tiny bit of bump, and
Don't know who's second
I don't know
shot
now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's ahead of the one in the back of the button at least. It's those 2 on the top that are really close.
Yeah.
That tiny little bump made all the difference, but it's still no placement there coming in from Ouellette. A tiny little bump might have made them second shot. We don't know, and they're taking a look here, and this is one crazy end here, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a lot of stones in the 4-foot area, boys.
Reminder: both teams do have a timeout where
Yeah,
they
2.
can, so they can stop their thinking time clock. Neither of these 2 teams have coaches, but they can still stop the clock and just chat over it so they don't run it down.
Yeah, definitely. I think any time you have all 4 players inside of the hog line might be a pretty good time to do that. But the clock's going to keep running for now. Keep an eye on their time.
Yeah, we're taking a look right now. Almost a 2-minute difference between Adams and MacDougall.
Yeah, I think you'd like to have about 4 minutes per end. There's 3 blue stones to come here, and they will be underneath that 16-minute mark for the last 4 ends. So we'll have to play catch up here at some time because I'd called them short for time here already. We have another very slow-moving game next door on sheet 4.
Yeah, but Team Adams normally plays. They like to make sure everyone's on the same page before taking their shot. We saw this during the Dave Jones ball. They're not afraid to talk things through.
Yeah, you just have to do so in a reasonable, timely manner, or else you lose the game. You don't. I guess in theory you don't lose the game, but you don't get to throw again, and your opposition gets to throw any remaining stones. So I think most of the time you end up losing the game in that case.
What are we doing? We're just gonna. And you heard the joke there. No, we're just gonna stand here and talk. Mark just asking for just a tiny bit more ice.
Yeah, and if they, I think if they play any kind of tap there, that yellow will become second shot for sure. I don't know what they're thinking they'll get out of this stone.
So we'll see. It doesn't have much weight to it, though. It's a little heavy. Did I hear that?
Oh, I think it's curling on them.
Yeah, it's really
trying to keep the line.
And they're by. They should be by.
I think they are, yeah.
Now Ian jumps on it.
They get to the inside of this blue. Now
right over, and they'll add another one into the whole bunch here.
I mean, great draw, but like I said, it's made it for a 9th shot, so don't know what...
Well, Brent's taking a look, too, and he doesn't know which one is second shot.
No, but I think if Brent plays any kind of low-weight tap on those yellows, he'll make second, and it'll be pretty difficult for Shawn to get his 2, I think.
Yeah, that's the key thing we're seeing right here. Just those 2 blue stones, they're surrounded by a ton of yellow. And if they can somehow pinch those 2 blues out, MacDougall's in a great spot, but those are not 2 stones that are very easily removed.
Yeah, the middle blue's not going anywhere. The back blue has an exit door out the left-hand side of the house, but how do you get it moving that way?
Yeah, they're taking a look at those yellow stones on the right side. Saying hit the blue one here on the left too. Now this is where physics comes in. Where does all these angles go? Where does everything end up?
Yeah, it's just either way, the blues are going nowhere.
And again,
especially if you're playing on this side of the sheet. I think there might be a shot off that yellow on the right-hand side to punch that blue out the middle, but I mean...
They're taking a look at they're doing something on the left side here.
Yeah, they're definitely playing the left-hand side. I don't know what they're going to get out of it. Just second shot, I'm guessing.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one here. But it looks like Brent found something he's comfortable with. And it looks like they're attacking through on the left side of your screen right here.
Yeah, he's got 2 stones now, so he might be looking at...
Maybe bumping the blue to the yellow onto the blue.
Releasing that yellow stone, so he'd have a shot at it with his second. It's the only thing I can think of, but playing with fires, you might just change them around to favor Brent, Shawn Adams' team rather really well.
And really, you can hear all 3 ices had everyone screaming hard at the same time, trying to drown each other out so their teams can hear it. But here comes Rob Moore.
I think Brent's definitely trying to release that back yellow.
Yeah.
He's got to move 4 rocks here, see how far it goes.
And they will bump it back just a little bit.
That's actually really good.
Yep, they get just enough, so it leaves a couple exit doors where the blue stones.
Look at the angles, though. That's pretty good there for Brent.
That was a nice shot there. And now here comes Adams. How do I figure out a way to get 2 out of this? Do I hit that yellow one on the right side and bump it the blue one? But if I do that, that's going to give him an opportunity to do the same shot. I think that's what they're discussing. But let's try and see if we can listen in and see what they're talking about. All right, so they are going to be trying that shot over on that right side. Thank you very much for the listening there.
Yeah, thanks.
So Mark was pointing out there. He likes this one right here. Move that blue stone on the top right of the button. Move that over to the left a bit.
Yeah, I think with the heavy weight, that's just going to kiss that blue sideways. If he hits it anything high side, I guess, especially with this kind of weight, could kick it enough to kick the yellow. That was probably the call.
Very close. Let's see.
Go. Yeah, just
moves
like that.
Everything. Yep. So it's going to be just a single shot stone still for Team Dacey, but it does move everything. And everything gets moved out around there in the house.
Pretty good result for him.
Yep, and Team MacDougall still has that second shot. So they're trying to see, do they want to bump back that yellow onto... Bump it backwards?
Yeah, the only problem with that is that Shawn will have an easy open hit for 2 here on the right-hand side.
And you're seeing Granchelli standing right there on the left screen and just shaking his head. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, this is it's eating up a lot of time on the clocks there. Both teams here now under the 16-minute mark.
Yeah, all the other 3 sheets, they were behind us at the start of this end. Now they all passed us.
Yeah, that's right. we heard the yells get loud and strong there a few rocks ago. One of those was for a wonderful shot for 4 from our defending champ. Jamie, 2-time Nova Scotia Tankard winner. Made a wonderful shot for 4 in the 6th end. He's up 7-4 now over Jamie Danbrook over on sheet 5.
And that tells you why they were so loud, because that was an important shot.
Exactly, yeah.
And still...
And a nice comeback from Paul Dexter on sheet 2. He's tied it up with Stuart Thompson.
But right here, though, just to interrupt you, sorry, Team Adams does use their timeout here Team MacDougall does use their timeout here. So they're just going to stop their clock and just make sure and chat about this one before moving on.
It's probably a good call, noticing that they're under that 16-minute mark. You really do want 4 minutes per end, especially these last ends, as play will get more complicated, more complex.
Looks like they have agreed on something over on the left side. Really, it's all just physics. Thing ends up.
Yeah, I think...
Because it looks like if they hit the yellow one into the blue, onto the yellow one, they're thinking maybe it goes backwards? I don't know.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, we'll just have to wait and see here.
Just kind of stay right there, yeah.
So a big shot here for Brent MacDougall, his final shot.
It's not a crazy amount of weight, so not sure.
A little bit of a bump.
Trying to get to the inside, it looks like.
Hard.
I don't know what that accomplished.
So I think it's just more, let's try to avoid a single and force a draw for 2.
Well, Shawn had this easy open hit here all day, and Brent never really addressed that, so I don't know what the thought process was.
So I'm just saying he needs a little bit more room here. So a hit and stick on that yellow stone that's popping out on the left of your screen to sit 2 for Team Adams.
Yeah, he's got to keep his weight nice and control weight here. Nothing too excited, because can't really afford to flop outside at all. It's that one top 4 would be the second stone. He really does need to hit the nose.
But
there's plenty of room.
Yeah, very important shot though here. Just trying to see if he can increase his lead to 3. Whoa. Now they're going on it.
Really nice.
Nice and easy, no problem right there. Gets the nice hit and stick, and it's going to be 2 for Team Adams. After that craziness here in the 6th end, it is now 5-2 for Adams over MacDougall here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard. Make sure to keep updated on all the action. nscurl.com. Join in on the action with the hashtag #NSCurl as well. And let us know about what your thoughts about that crazy end was. We'd love to hear what you guys think about that back at home. As we're going to get things going in. We might be seeing a quick end here because both teams lost a lot of time on that clock, and they might be playing a more open game. But if it's anything like the last end, we could be in for a long one.
Yeah, well, you're gonna see Brent MacDougall try to keep the offense on, being down 3. But Shawn should be able to, with the defensive play, that the 3-point lead will earn him.
Yeah, so it's a 3-point lead, but MacDougall does have the hammer. See if he can pick up a deuce, maybe 3 in this end. As Gibson will do his normal, just very casual draw. Like he's been doing all game long. No problem. Gets over just touching the 4-foot. That's what he's been doing all game.
That's right.
So corner guard going to be placed by Moore. And these stones, it shows last end how those opening stones make all the difference. Those opening stones were placed very perfectly, and when it came down to the rest of the teams, when they had to shoot, they just couldn't move away those opening shots.
Yeah, they kept jamming them in there quite a bit in the 6th end. I think got both teams in a bit of trouble. So it should be simpler play here. Just next door after the steal of 2 and 5, Glenn McLeod responds with a single in 6, but he still trails Chad Stevens 5-3. Stevens with the hammer and the lead in the 7th in that game, so in control over the defending champions.
All right, both Dacey and Fitzner-LeBlanc on the sweep on this one. A little bit on the lighter side, but the sweepers are able to carry this one in for their central guard. And now just getting the little finish there. Yeah. And it'll be set up nicely. Great job from the sweepers carrying that one down. And Dacey having a little bit of a chuckle there.
I'm sure he's getting a good workout this year.
And yeah, so it was a little chuckle over at Ian right there on the sweeping. It's just like, are you all right? And this one, very job though again by the sweepers here. And they're able to hold that one, and it'll go right on top of the blue stone. Great job, great call on the line.
Yeah, it's a great shot there.
We look for a T-line?
So looking for a T-line weight here. Try to add another one, and we're seeing that line started again. This time it's above the T-line.
Yeah, that's right. See how far up the house it gets.
Just an easy clean, and now they're getting on this one. Hard on the line here.
Yeah, this will be by the guard.
They're by it, but now they just want to make sure it doesn't overcurl. And it's just going to pop over on top. Can't exactly see it, but it is right straight in behind their center guard. There's just a little bit of separation there. There's a better look at it. As we see, it doesn't come directly over the Yellowstone, but it is in the way. And now MacDougall is trying to wonder, do I start removing the stones in the middle now? Because I don't want to end up in this situation later on like we had last end.
Yeah, he's going to throw into the wing here. I think that's a good idea. I think there's room to tuck another one on top of that yellow, but any kind of kiss roll off and giving Shawn an option at a double. So we're going to pitch one out on the wings here. We'll see what Shawn does. Respond to it.
Well, more saying, I'm not touching it for weight yet. And now they're going to jump on this one.
Line's great on this one.
Yeah, try to see if they can get as buried as possible.
Really like to be third shot. I think they are. Yeah.
And they are third shot, yep. So like a backline weight, is that what you there to come right onto it?
Yeah, maybe just a slightly less than that even. He's definitely talked Shawn into playing out to that wing, so mission accomplished if you're Brent MacDougall. He'll have the chance to make a play on the center later.
Real hard on this one. It's starting to break real fast. Can they hold it? Can they get it by the guard? And ooh, just gets it by. And they get the finish there. I'm not even sure if you could in between those two rocks.
That one was close.
So MacDougall's taking a look here. Does he want to make a play on that blue one, or does he want to start removing the ones in the middle? It looks like they're going to start removing those stones up in the middle.
Yeah, and that's a little surprising because he played the hit on the blue one on the side, just a few more rocks, and rock gets higher, and all of a sudden you have an angle into the one behind cover.
And I got to give full credit, sorry to interrupt, for Team Murphy. They got a pair of lungs on them.
Yeah.
Everyone can hear them.
Yeah. You can definitely feel the intensity tonight. There's been tons of rocks in play across all 4 sheets.
Yeah, so they just a straight peel away of that shot. Sorry to continue. You didn't like that call.
Yeah, I know if let's say you hit the blue blue runs after you again, and all of a sudden you have an angle set up into to play a double into the 1 top 4, and it's behind cover, which if you go for that shot selection, you still have a guard up there. So now they've lost their guard, and Shawn's happily just going to put it back. Brent's going to have to make a play into the middle, and his best shot at it might be off something on the side, but he needs that rock to be a little higher so you can afford to play a hit. He's pretty committed to the bail now.
Yep.
Not often that you'll see skips going back and forth between their strategies.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. When you commit to something, you got to keep it going throughout the rest of the end. So here comes another peel. Just an easy clean here. No problems right there for Ouellette. And Ouellette will clear it away. As you see, a great look behind how many people are there standing around, and great crowd here on hand just for the opening. It's a Tuesday night even. Imagine how crazy it's going to get once you get towards the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Crowds will build all week for sure.
I already have problems finding parking.
Yeah, it's been tough.
So again, the team amps is going to look to Dacey to just replay that guard again. And this one will just get over the hog line and sit. Because Team Adams wants it nowhere near the rocks in play in the house. They're going to try that run back here. And this one's a long one. So this is a big shot here. There's a big shot here for Ouellette. Can he get the run?
It's curling early.
Really curling. Let's see, where does it end up?
Oh, that was unbelievable. He couldn't have done that carrying it down himself. He missed the top blue.
He missed the top blue, but
slashed the yellow one sideways.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable result. And leaves his guard there.
Yeah, but it does, unfortunately, yeah. It would have been perfect if it was in behind that yellow guard, but it does leave a run back here for Shawn Adams to respond. But still, that one was the best case scenario there when it was
But it's so impossible that you would have never called that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the result there was just.
That's what happens.
We're talking millionths of a million, like a.
Plan B sometimes work better than Plan A.
Yeah, he would have just had to graze the top blue one, especially moving away from the stone to catch the yellow one behind it. Yeah, just unreal result there.
And hard on this one on the line. It's really starting to break.
It's curling.
And they just get it by, and that shows a great sweeping again from Gibson. Unbelievable, just holding that one, and they are able to get the run back. But again, very close, and that's been a couple of shots already this end. They've been very close, and if they did tap it on, the game, this whole end would have changed towards MacDougall, but it hasn't, and
yeah, he would have had a chance at his deuce there for sure.
And MacDougall's in a lot of trouble here to try and see. He's going to try and see if he can figure out some way to get two here.
Yeah, I mean, Curly's definitely got room there. He can get, he doesn't even really have to get behind the tee line if he's close enough to the guards. Settle one in, buried top button, and a bit of an overlap on those guards now, so it's got a way out of this. He's really got to make this one, though.
There comes MacDougall's first to two. Back four was the call.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's really all line.
Hard for line here. Nice end there by, no problems.
Great angle there. You're going to see it warp in. It's going to be buried, and it's going to settle at the back of the button. That's a pretty good stone for Brent. Shawn's really got to follow him right down. It's a pretty good stone. It's about the best he could do.
Yep, and he's doing whatever he can to pick up
to get
two,
his deuce for sure. Yeah,
and because he needs two here to battle his way back into the game here. Time, even though it is 10 ends, time is still starting to run out. MacDougall said.
We're in the 7th now, so for sure. We have some 7th end deuces to tell you about. Jamie Danbrooks come back, responded to the 4-ender with a deuce of his own. He's pulled the deficit to within 1, so he's down 7-6 to Jamie Murphy. Murphy has hammer in 8 there on sheet 4.
How about Team Stevens over on sheet 4?
Deuce and 7 for them. They continue to dominate our defending champions here. They're up 7-3 with Glenn McLeod having hammer in the 8th. Just take a quick look to come back to Shawn's draw here. He needs some legs on this one, and it's not going to make it.
No, not enough. And there it is. MacDougall did what he could, and now he's set up for his deuce here.
Yeah, so Brent has a chance for 2 here. It's not the first time in the game he's had a chance for 2.
But it's a skip's deuce.
He's really got to make this one. Yeah, and it would be a skip's deuce. You're right, Martin.
He did everything. Everything going against 3. And that shows you how every single stone is important in an end. Mess up one time, unfortunately. And all of a sudden, MacDougall has somehow found his way to see if he can pick up 2 and make this a 1-point game.
Yeah, and to keep any kind of momentum you got going for you here, you really want to make this one. Missed a couple early, but 7th end, down 3, got to make this. And our third 7-end deuce to tell you about was scored by nice 2. They're up 6-4 on Paul Dexter now.
All right. Keep in mind that Team M's does go against Dexter tomorrow at noon, and Jamie Murphy will be going against this MacDougall squad tomorrow at noon.
Now the line's good. Now, where's the weight?
Where's the weight
at? Stop.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit much, though.
Top 12.
It's looking a little much.
Top 8.
No, it isn't.
Into the 4-foot
Beautiful.
For 2. Wonderful draw from Brent MacDougall there. Settles in the back
He's
of the
able
pin.
to get it, yep. And then all of a sudden, after 7, it's now 5-4 for Shawn Adams. This game is going to get very interesting here, as we're going to be going to the 8th end here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard here at the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. If you're thinking of tuning in or coming out here, for the live action here throughout the week, it is $5 for a single draw pass, or $25 for the whole event. That's amazing. You can spend it. Some people come in the morning. You have some great food, some great drinks here, and you're set up for the entire day. And you got some great action.
Yeah, it's really a steal of a deal with $25 for the week.
As we're going to get things going here with Rob Moore. Reminder, you can always keep up to date on the other actions with nscurl.com. Just click on scores right there. And if you happen to forget where to find the game here on the stream, you can find it there as well. High central guard being placed there for Moore. And it looks like Gibson doing what he does all game. Right away, Adams is not even going to try putting a corner now, just draw one in now.
Yeah, when the other team puts the guard up there first instead of the one in the house, you often, if the game's tight at all, you definitely have to go around it. So race to the center. If you don't go, your opponent will. So
just an easy sweep right there, making sure they are by the guard they are. And just
this one, if the curl's been true, is going to poke out the other side a little bit, but doesn't have the legs for that, so it'll stay buried top 12.
Maybe about it is poking out, but that's not enough for them to attack since it's only top 12. MacDougall's going to just come and draw in himself.
Yeah, pretty good situation for Brent if he could ever put one top of the pin. That blue stone's buried enough to prevent any kind of raise option, so he'd be behind 2 guards essentially.
Easy cleaner now. Now both are jumping on it.
This one's not going to be by the one on the blue, so they've changed the plan to a corner freeze of the blue, but to sweep to get it there anyways.
Yeah, not enough weight on that one.
No, and he's going to end up with a second corner guard, though, and we were talking about that
central guard,
this morning's
yeah.
guard. The center guard, yeah. during this morning's game, and without Hammer is not a bad situation to have both those center guards there.
What Brent said, he said, "Don't worry about it, Rob. That's not terrible. Don't worry."
Yeah, you're probably going to see him go pretty hard for the steal with that kind of setup, but Shawn's going to try to make things difficult by keeping things above the T line. The minute he slides behind, boys, you'll see Brent salivating here at the chance, but
Gibson shot will go in very nicely. And can't really, right out again on the top four. And MacDougall's going to point at Granchelli to try and see if he can follow that one down now. And as we're just passing, both teams are under the 12-minute mark now as we're in the 8th end. So they seem to have caught up some time, though. They're right in that 7th end.
Yeah, that's right. All it takes is a bit of giddy up and make sure you're in the hack and ready to throw, and it's not too hard to make the
line's perfect. You hear him saying that.
Yeah, it's got to be there.
Moore and Ouellette trying to get as far as they can, and they did a great job. They got it as close as they could there. Not frozen right on top of it, but just so close.
And that's pretty good. I mean, it's good enough to talk Shawn into peeling the guards, so I'd say mission accomplished.
So we're going to start to see that. So Fitzner-LeBlanc's going to remove the guard, and we'll probably see MacDougall's side replace it. Peels away the high guard. And looks like right out again. MacDougall's just going to point. Put a new high guard in place. So that showed it. Even though Moore came up a little light on the draw, those two guards are starting to come in handy. So Granchelli with his second.
Yeah, is he putting the second guard back up?
Yep, doesn't look like there's any issues. There, it looks like they put it right there. And there is that high central guard. And they didn't want to completely level to avoid any run back, so very nicely played there from Granchelli. And again, Fitzner-LeBlanc is just going to point at this one and remove it. Nice and easy peel. He's on it, no issues there. And it looks like this game will just continue. With another high guard getting played here, this time by Ouellette. So here comes Ouellette with this. Going to replace that guard that was just taken away.
Yeah, so exchange of stones here.
This one actually has a little bit more to it. There's Brent screaming, whoa, he doesn't want that one any closer. And it will come in nicely. Good little finish there. And it's always the question here, when do you start leaving those guards and come in? Adams is already sitting one, but he doesn't want a single here in this situation. He wants two.
Yeah, that's right, and that Yellowstone's in a pretty good spot. They're top 8, so keep playing the bail game. And also, in theory, they're in control, right? They're up 1 with Hammer here, so.
So he peels it away, no problems. And it'll probably be around the you normally see teams make their move on this type of scenario here when you're playing the guards and the peels.
Yeah.
And hearing some frustration brew out on the other ices. And
some frustration coming from defending champions, Glenn McLeod's team over on sheet 4. It's been a strong performance from the Chad Stevens rink.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect former champions. They have the possibility of going 0-2 after the first day. And are they discussing if they should go after both the yellow ones here?
Yeah, I think they're tempted, but could go really wrong.
So we'll see what the play. I didn't see what they made as their final decision, but I see Adams taking a look back at it. So let's see, what is Dacey going to be doing here on his final throw? A lot of weight as usual. It looks like it's just a straight uphill. Yeah. So they thought about it, but they said no, it's way too risky. So now MacDougall's got to think of doing something different here. Should he maybe put that guard one more time and try and draw in on this final shot, or should they?
Oh, I think you got to make a move now.
Yeah, that's what they're looking at. They're going to make a move now. Bump back maybe their Yellowstone. That has a great potential there if they bump back their yellow onto the blue.
Yeah, just as Granchelli is pointing out there, it'll leave Shawn a pretty easy slash raise on the other blue, but she can't take them all away. Discussing whether there's any merit to corner freezing the inside of that blue stone. Another option they're discussing is wrapping right around everything. But again, that'll just leave Shawn a little short raise on those two rock combination on the left-hand side.
All right, let's try and see if we can listen in as they're going to try and decide the shot. So it looks like they're going to draw in on the right side there.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try to loop around everything. I think it's a really good call. You put her in a great spot where neither raise is really available. Just kind of side of the button, their area. You stay on the right-hand side of center line and bite the right-hand side of the button. Both raises don't do much for you, so I think that's the perfect spot for this stone, but
it's got to be perfectly, just a little bit off. Team Adams has a great opportunity to get 2, if not 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Real tight.
I think the call must have. No, I don't think the call was for a round.
Yeah, because this is coming right on. And the yellow guard too. They are saying it's tight, but they're saying wait until it goes. And now they're taking a look because what options do we really have? Because Adams doesn't really have too many options here too, besides doing the exact same shot that MacDougall just threw.
Yeah, I kind of wondering how do you get your 2? I think just where he's putting his broom there is not a bad placement. I really think that's where Brent would have liked to throw his. And
yeah, that's I thought that was the shot that Brent was calling.
I thought so as well, and if it was, it's just a
really light,
really bad miss there on his part. But just with how they were calling the weight coming down made me think that might not have been the call all along. And a nice draw over on sheet 2 by Paul Dexter for his single. He'll pull within 1 of Stuart Thompson. Thompson will lead 6-5 with hammer in the 9th end, in control of that game.
Here comes Adams with his first 2. Has the hammer up by 1 here at the Tankard, trying to see if he can close this one out in the 8th and try to put the pressure on 9th and 10th.
Yeah, I think he's got real good line here.
This one's got to come down a little bit though. And it's really starting to come down, and now Fitzner-LeBlanc's going to take this one and look for the finish.
Yeah, and look how good these teams are. That's more or less exactly where Shawn had his wanted that rock. It's really precise throwing here. Now,
MacDougall's taking a look here and saying, well, if I hit that, I'm going to end up here, and it's going to be a deuce either way. So let's try and see what are they thinking. Let's try and see what they're doing.
Are if some players were faced the other way, you might pick up a bit more of their conversation. But I think you have Brent really talking options A through Z here, because
there's a lot of choices here on this one, and you can do that run back on the yellow, but they won't be shot on that one. If they go after the one on the right side, they hit that, and Adams will do the exact same shot, and they'll get 2.
There's no good options here for Brent, really. On his first stone, had he moved that guard over enough in order to use it as a run back, it might have given him a bit more options.
And see, Granchelli realized the clock is starting to run a little bit, so he's just going to run over and make sure that the rock is set up.
Yeah, they're going to fall under the 8-minute mark here with 2 ends to play, but time isn't going to really matter if you lose this in 8 or 9.
You can tell by their faces they don't feel 100% confident in, but they realize their choices are limited here. All right, so final shot here for Brent MacDougall. Hard on the sweep here is more.
Yeah, and this one, they lost this one really early.
Granchelli's on this one, and are they able to get something? Let's see, maybe if they get a friendly and try to block something off. Yeah, just roll it over, try and see if they can block anything off for Adams.
Oh, and that is for 3.
Yeah, and it is. It is a draw for 3. Or Shawn Adams, but again, we've seen throughout this game, even the open draws have stumbled their skips a little bit.
Yep.
And it could only be 2 here as well. So if they get 3, I'm not sure how MacDougall finds a way to come back down by 4 with 2 ends to play. It'll be very tricky.
Yeah, he really needs a 3-ender in 9 and then go hard for the steal in 10. But seen stranger things happen.
You know, we'll see. Hard on the sweep, though, is Gibson and Fitzner-LeBlanc. Holding that line. They got to hold that line.
Yeah, it's more for weight, I think, on this one. Great sweep there.
Great sweep coming from Gibson and Fitzner-LeBlanc, and they are able to get the 3. A huge 3-point end, so it's now 8-4 for Shawn Adams against Brent MacDougall here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard here at the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. MacDougall will have the hammer, but you're going to need a big end here to find a way back in this game.
The struggles continue for defending champs on ice 4. They
just 1 second.
With this
1 second on the update. So you're just a discussion right now between Fitzner-LeBlanc and Gibson. They're trying to decide, do we just throw this through on the opening shot, or are we going to draw this one in? An important decision right there. And we'll have to see what they choose to do here, if it's going to be a draw. You can continue on your score updates.
Yeah, no, just forced to a single again in the 8th, so they're down 3 without hammer to Chad Stevens over on sheet 4.
So they chose to draw this one in, and no problems there for Gibson. Pretty much almost exactly where he's been putting them.
Yeah, it's not like Andrew's had a hard time with his shots tonight, so
You know, you might throw through if your lead's having an off night, throwing a few through, not being very precise, but that's definitely not the case with Andrew Gibson tonight. So there's no need to give the other stones 8 stones against your 7. Make them all count.
And here comes the corner guard being played by Moore. So probably this one will be thrown in through. So they got the one they need inside the house. And yeah, this one from Gibson, this one's going to go in all the way through. And we'll see now Fitzner-LeBlanc and Dacey will be left up to do the peel game.
Yeah, and you'll see that sometimes from the top teams, throw the first one in and then throw the second one through.
Just in case of the first one messed up, probably.
Sorry?
Maybe they get the first one in just to make sure they keep the pressure on in some form. They have one in play.
Yeah, well, they want to make sure the first one is made off the bat, and then gives them the chance to throw the second ones through. You know Brent's going to make a play on those eventually, likely tapping them back to the back 4 or back 8. So let's say you throw a second stone in there, and Brent's successful in his tap back opportunities. It's just going to make that wall of blue wider if it's got 2 stones on it rather than 1. So good decision there from Shawn, I think. And now the exchange of peels shall commence.
It's nice to see, though, Team MacDougall still in high spirits, so you can see it. Realizing, you know what, okay, this one's not our day. Let's try to come back to the next draw. So let's finish this one out strong and do what we can. As Fitzner-LeBlanc is able to get the peel on the first one, and another corner guard's going to be played. The MacDougall team, just a couple little mistakes here and there, and this would be a totally different game. And they've been in this one, despite the scoreline. It's 8-4, but they've really been in this game this entire time.
Yep. Yeah, they stayed with them for sure.
This is a question I said. How do you know which one you prefer to peel at? Is it just a preference on whoever's shooting? Or is it because this one's the lower guard? Because sometimes people say, oh, you always just peel off the higher one, but this one's a lower one, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, you like to give a curler the same rock twice. So Ian made the first peel.
And the second one.
And I think that might have had something to do with his decision making there. Sometimes if you're getting, if you're salivating at the chance of a double peel, you'll hit the higher one first and see what happens. But, with a 4-point lead, Shawn's pretty glad with getting rid of either of them, even if it is just one. So I think it just came down to giving Ian the same shot twice instead of bringing him over to the other side of the sheet, maybe a different turn, different path. Keep Ian making his shots, makes him confident. Confident players make lots of shots.
So Dacey again with his peel.
Of all the games, you can tell all the games are getting to a real critical point here.
Yeah.
We have a team meeting out on 2. We have a strong comeback being mounted by Jamie Danbrook over on sheet 5. And, it's do or die team. Do or die for a lot of teams here because
and it's the first.
Got hammer in the 9th on sheet 2, and he's up 1, so he's looking to put that one away. And Jamie Danbrook can mount all sorts of comebacks, but Jordan Pinder comes down and makes a triple takeout, and now all of a sudden Jamie Murphy lays through. So lots of great action across all.
So right away they're saying forget these corner guards. They're not missing any of them. We got to draw in now.
Yeah,
because we need a big end here, so let's draw in.
Yeah.
So they're gonna put one in now, and won't be surprised if Adams just clears away the other guard now.
Yeah, guard's definitely the more dangerous shot there in this situation.
No problems here, it looks like. And yeah, it's right on the money. So another peel brought in. 4 for 4 for peels for Team Adams.
Yeah, and they look so automatic, but as you were saying, Martin, those peels aren't really easy shots to throw. Jamie Danbrook responds with a triple of his own, and that end went from having about 8 rocks in play to 1 in a couple throws.
And we're here with Ouellette trying to see if it looks like he's going to come right on top of Gibson's blue stone in the house. They realize they need a lot of rocks in play to get points, so they got to do whatever they can, even with or without guards, and hope for a miss from Shawn. So nice and easy right now, just waiting for the finish, and Granchelli will take it down, and it's going to sit very nicely right on top of the blue, and a great freeze right there.
That's a great freeze there, yeah, for sure.
So Shawn's saying, you know, forget it. I'm not going to go after that one.
Yeah.
Let's get the free yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Shawn bows his shot. I'll take the open one.
Yeah, because if you're Adams here, giving up 2, you're fine with giving up a deuce here, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll see Brent go and play another freeze on that situation, and then the chance for 3 is alive, because that's really what you want. Stealing coming home's not impossible. Stealing 2 is pretty close to that, especially against these teams here.
Just an easy peel it away. Nice shot there from Adams.
Run back attempt from Paul Fleming was stuffed on sheet 4 and ended up leaving Glenn McLeod with a steal of 1. So he pulls to within 2. They're playing the 10th. Chad Stevens is up with hammer.
They're trying that second freeze, and
they are going for the second freeze.
And Ouellette's almost standing next to Dexter. They're just taking a look at each other to see how close they were. Like, wait a second, we're just making sure we're both on our own sheets. Okay, we're good.
That's right. With Dexter third, Mark Robar there.
Yep.
Yeah, so Brent realizes that getting 3 is astronomically better than.
And I think this one might be a little bit light since both of them are on it right off the bat.
Okay. It's got a curl. Might see Kris get on and try to make a curl here.
And now it's starting to go.
Line's pretty good now. They really just try to bring it to the face.
And just a tiny bit light.
That's a pretty good stone for Brent.
But unfortunately, it might not be enough, but we'll see what Adams chooses to do. Yeah, he's just going to probably just peel away that top one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to be pretty unlucky to stick both of them. That kind of distance between them.
Remember, though, to join in with us again tomorrow morning, though, 8 a.m. for Women's Scotties Tournament of Hearts action here.
That's right, I'll be here.
We'll both be here.
8 a.m.
Able to get it, even if his blue one rolls out, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's handing Brent the deuce here.
It's handing Brent the deuce, an easier draw for 2. And we had a couple messages. Sorry, I missed it. Unfortunately, didn't pick up my phone. We had even the commentator sending me a tweet over when we had all those rocks on the button asking what the heck is going on here.
Oh, yes, from our fellow commentator, Joel McDougall, is covering the sheet 4 action there. He's reaching out at us at hashtag NSCurls. Something you can do, anyone can do. Join in our broadcast action here. I think we had some Team Murphy supporters tweeting in from Florida earlier. It's great to see our coverage reaching all sorts of places.
No problems right there. There's the draw for 2. So MacDougall. So after 9 ends, it is now 8-6 for Shawn Adams. But Adams does have the hammer coming home here at the 2016 East Coast Credit Union Tankard here on Bellline TV1. Martin Ohms joined by Ryan Corso here for this matchup here. It's been a great matchup, and if Adams, if he's able to pull off the win, we'll go to 2-0 on the standings, while MacDougall dropped to 0-2. And that's going to be tough, because then MacDougall has to face against Jamie Murphy tomorrow. So no easy tasks here in this tournament. No games where you can go like, okay, we got this win 100%. And not any with any of these 8 teams.
Having at this level for sure. We're going to have some exciting finishes on our hand here. We'll make sure to keep you updated. 3 of our 4 games entering the 10th end, and just the game of Stuart Thompson on sheet 2 and Paul Dexter taking an extra little second in the 7th end, but Stuart set up for a multiple score there, so we might not see a 10th end from them.
Tankard is being played. Is it when you're choosing to do it? So we're gonna start seeing what some people are coining the Weagle. What is the Weagle here?
Yeah, so this is a great example of it here. That rock being in the free guard zone cannot be removed from play, but it can be moved around in the playing area. So the idea is to really throw enough weight that won't take it out of play, and enough of an angle where both stones would ideally roll to the wings. That one curled up to the nose, and with the weight, it's going to take it out of play. So Brent has the chance of putting that rock right back. But it's called the Weagle because of Rachel Holman's highly successful women's team and their Lisa Weagle, who you can tell has just gone out to Rideau Curling Club in Ottawa and thrown that shot over and over and over and over again, because she makes about 9 out of 10 of them now.
She makes 9 out of 10, and most teams can only
get. It's an extremely tough shot.
Yeah, most teams have been struggling with that. As you saw, Gibson right there is throwing a perfect game bar, and he shows it's really hard to try and bump that one and keep it to the sides, but not out of play.
Yeah, it's a really delicate shot, but the flip side is if you make it, you often win the game, because you don't often call them unless you're in 10th end situations, and you open it up for your skip like that, especially with a 4-rock guard zone. For all intents and purposes at this level of curling, we call that the game.
And just like,
be won there.
Can I try it again? Sean's like, no, throw it through.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's too bad for Andrew, but maybe next game he'll get another cup. If your skip is calling, then it's usually because you're in some kind of lead, or at least with hammer situation. So I'm sure Andrew will get another crack at that.
So, of course, though, join in on the entire conversation. NS Curl. Let us know what your thoughts are on the games here on the draws.
MacDougall's got a pair of guards here, and
trying to get it around.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to just leave this one tight, and then you'll have 3 guards. It's hard to place those guards so specifically when it's just over the hog tight. I mean, the obvious danger with the one just over the hog line is hogging the rock. You can be a foot light on your rock, and guess what? It's not in play. So really precise guard placement's required.
So here's Fitzner-LeBlanc, though, throwing a lot of weight.
I'd really like to get rid of 2, but Blue's going to stay around.
Blue's going to stay around. He does remove both yellow guards, but his shooter does hang. But at the end of the day, I call that value. You remove 2 stones for one of yours, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I know.
Don't think he's very happy about leaving the blue one there.
He isn't, though, but at the end of the day, it's not terrible.
Nice deuce scored by Stuart Thompson in the 9th on sheet 2. Once the dust settled, So he'll take an 8-5 lead into the last end. Paul Dexter will left hammer and will need 3 to tie. So all games now coming down to the 10th end. No early finishes this evening.
And Nolan here and Granchelli just sticking his hands like, what happened there? And this one will be carried up far back into the back 12. And the whole MacDougall team just stuck their hands and said, what happened there? They have no idea.
Yeah, they really seemed to glide more than they thought.
So Adams will probably ask Ian to remove a guard here.
Yeah, like now is a great time for the double field. Oh, he's just
They
gonna
tried.
miss it.
Yeah, they tried for the
That's
double
all
field,
right.
just narrowly missed it. But more importantly, they got rid of that blue stone out in front.
Yeah, Shawn's really in a bid to bring the action in closer to the house here, and getting rid of that high guard is definitely a good first start, first action in that plan.
So right away, Team MacDougall realizing what we need 2 here. We got to draw in, and we can't keep playing the guard game. We rocks inside the house, and they're going to try and draw in here. Granchelli and Moore are giving whatever they got left here.
Yes, wider line on this one, but
We'll set up in a decent position for them, though.
it's a good spot.
And choices now, do we that they just threw or the guard? And that's what Adams is asking Dacey right now. Yeah, he's saying you can make that double maybe if you run that back. Okay, so it looks like they're going to go for it here, right?
Yeah.
They're going for the 2 in the house, trying to see if they can put any hopes for MacDougall to rest.
So over on sheet 4, it will be a win for Chad Stevens there. Had Peter Burgess trying to draw the house to lay 2 and at least make Paul Fleming throw his last stone, but came up a little short of the ring, so he won't even have to throw his last stone. It'll be a win for Chad Stevens and our defense to an 0-2 start
And
today
Stevens
on day 1.
2-0.
And Stevens 2-0, that's right. Great start for them.
They are able to get a bye. Here's one.
Oh,
Just missing
back
the
one.
second one. So he's just going to get one. Keeps the shooter around. So they're saying because MacDougall was going to call for him, they said, no, we need rocks in play. Let's just either freeze or draw up to it.
Yeah, there's really no reason to get that to hit that blue right now.
Top 4 is the call. Waiting for this one to curl, though.
Yeah, they'd really like to curl past the blue. But just going to dead freeze it. It's okay.
Give it a little bit of a bump back.
I think if I'm Shawn here, I get rid of the guard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to call Dacey over here. They do have this Adams team. They were struggling with that clock, and they've turned it around the last few. And
That's
they
right.
have the time now to talk about it.
Yeah. Like I said, it often happens when you're defending. You're throwing not too much thought going into the shots.
So they're going to go over to that stone that was just thrown by Ouellette.
Enough, if the scoreboards stay the same right now, we'd actually have 4 undefeated teams and 4 winless teams after 2 draws of action here on day 1.
Actually, it's a little light, but it said go, go, go now.
Yeah, so they decided to make a play on the yellow in the house instead.
Oh, they're going to roll over. So all of a sudden now Adams sits 2.
might have given Brent a shot here, but
Would you freeze onto the one over on the back right or on the left? Because they're saying a hit and roll here too, even.
I think the hit and rolls maybe the best. Well, if you want to place a rock top 4 behind the guard, sure, you just draw one there. There's no need to have to make the hit and roll. You have to steal.
Not going to be an easy task.
It's going to take some extra help, that's for sure. So all the games now coming down to the last few stones.
Yeah, Murphy's up by 2. They're in a pretty good position. And Team Thompson as well is in a very good position. And that will do it. So Team Thompson does defeat Dexter over on sheet number 2.
Yeah, so Thompson goes to 2-0. Dexter drops it 0-2.
So here comes a shot from MacDougall. Very important shot here. Trying to get a hit and roll. Hard on the sweep is Granchelli.
Yeah, it looks like it started a little bit.
Gotta go. Where did they get the roll? And it's just too thin. And it rolls off of their own, but it doesn't knock it out of play, importantly, though. So it's just biting on the back 12. You can't see it on your screen, but it's still just biting.
That's right, I mean, I guess in theory it keeps you alive.
In theory, you're still alive. Yep. So Adams has said, let's get rid of that guard. Make sure I have nothing in the way for my final shot.
Exactly. And, if, Brent would love to throw a freeze on that blue stone, but he's going to have to hit it and lay 2. It's because he needs 2 to stay in the game. So.
And we have handshakes over on sheet 5, so it looks like Murphy did pick there as well. So it's just our game left here, as we're seeing the peel away of the guard for Shawn Adams. So Brent's got to figure out a way to remove the blue stone and stick around to sit 2 to keep this game going.
Yeah, he'd love to freeze, but so just take the blue one out and just hope for a flash, really, or stranger things have happened. Never know. We'll make Shawn throw his last stone, and
it's curling. Anything can happen.
that's right. First things first, you got to save your shooter on this one.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a nice. You have to be able to nice control it though. Nicely control this one. So if he's able to remove this one, if you're Adams, do you draw in or are you just hit and stick or remove one, just peel away one? What is your call in that situation?
I think
more of a
you're
comfort
likely
to
gonna hit.
You gonna hit?
Yeah, because the draw could pick up a bit of a debris, pick up a bit of flat spot, come to a halt, and you could give up 2 in a hurry. And with the hit, you don't even have to keep your shooter; it's just make it go away. So the target's actually quite wide.
Line's good. Ball, wait for it.
Line's good.
Yep, hard now.
Yeah, they're getting hard on this one.
Yeah, he has to avoid the jam at the back, or else Shawn won't have to throw.
And gets the blue one. Avoids the jam, no problem there for Brent. He did his job. And all Adams has to do is remove the yellow stone, and it's game over.
Yeah. Nice stone there from Brent. He'll be happy with that.
As we wrap up things here, Ryan, I'd like to thank you for coming on the air with me here today for this draw. As we're running up things here in this men's second draw of the day.
We'll thank our sponsors again. Of course, the East Coast Credit Union presenting this Nova Scotia Men's Tankard Championship, alongside Scotty's Kruger Products presenting the Women's Scotty's Championship here, alongside Deloitte, Travelers, Tim and a nice stone from Shawn Adams will stay to count one more, make the final 9-6. Shawn Adams goes on to 2-0 record, while Brent MacDougall falls to 0-2. And as I said, we actually have 4 undefeated teams and 4 winless teams now. So we'll likely see some of those undefeated teams battle each other out tomorrow as play continues. And we're back here with you at 8 a.m. tomorrow, bright and early, with some women's action.
Yes, the women's Scotties action. So make sure to tune in with that. So for Ryan, this has been Martin Ohms here on Bellline TV 1. And until tomorrow morning, we'll see you guys.
Have a good night.